Okay, so in this video, we're going to spend a little time working with the doubler that came new in the CorOS 3.0 release. And what I want to do is look at what are the effects of moving the doubler to different points in the preset, maybe see if we can find where's the best location for it. And then we'll also play around a little bit with the amount of delay that you use in the doubler to see kind of what are the outer limits of it really being kind of a viable settings. So for this demo, I'm going to use this new preset I created that's using the PlentyX plugin blocks. And I think we're going to go ahead and move to kind of a lead tone. I think the higher gain tone will make the doubling effect a little more prevalent in the sound. This is a pretty straight ahead scene. Got some compression, a drive pedal into a crunchy amp, cabinets. I've got the chorus off. On the back end, I've got delay and reverb. I'm going to go ahead and turn the delay off so that we can hear the doubler kind of more directly. And this lead tone sounds like this. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move the compressor over. Let's start by putting the doubler right up front. So we're going to go down to the utilities section. I'm going to use the regular doubler, not the plugin doubler. They're basically the same. There's a little more controls on the regular doubler. You get this dry and FX level mix, but we're going to leave those be for now. You can see the default is 6 milliseconds. Usually when I was doing this with a digital delay, I would do this up more around 12 milliseconds. So I'm going to do that just so we can hear it a little more prominently. So again, with it off, with it on. So it's still pretty subtle, but you can definitely tell the difference. So let's go ahead and move this around and see the difference in sound. So again, right now it sounds like this. I'm going to move it after the cab. So this is where I would place kind of a modulation effect like a flanger or a chorus typically. So again, if we put it back to the beginning. Let's compare it. It's a little strange there when I play in the upper register. I think I think I prefer it towards the end. When it's way up front, it seems like it's getting a little bit of a, you get a little bit of a strange kind of warble kind of thing, especially when you're up high, maybe putting in a little vibrato. Let's go ahead and put it after the compressor, because the compressor could be messing with it a little bit. Yeah, I still think that the attack is a little strange. Yeah, I still prefer it towards the end. I think even behind the compressor, the doubler into the amp is still, the attack gets a little strange. Maybe because you're getting that kind of double attack more than is typical. So of the two locations, I think I prefer putting the doubler towards the back. Let's try something a little unique. Let's put the doubler in between the amp and the cab. So this is somewhat akin to putting the doubler in an effects loop. It's not quite. Typically an effects loop would go preamp, effects loop, power amp, cabinet. This is going preamp, power amp, effects loop, cabinet. So it's a little bit different, but let's hear how it sounds. Wow, that's really quiet. That's kind of strange. It's almost like there's a phase thing going on. I think the answer for me is that towards the back is kind of the best location in my opinion. So let's go ahead and play around with the spread a little bit. So we've got our doubler on right now. We're at 12 milliseconds. Let's go ahead and crank it all the way up. It's a little too extreme. It's workable. I mean, that's doable. I think it's sounding like two guitars playing, but they're not as tight as they should be. So let's go ahead and cut that in half. I don't know that I would go that high. I wonder if this is where we could play with the levels a little bit to get a little more dry and maybe a little less of the effect. Yeah, that's one of the things I like about the utility doubler is you can balance the levels. With the plug-in doubler, you can't do that. They're just spread and source. Let me pull that back just a little bit. So let me know in the comments below kind of what your experience has been so far with the doubler and where you like to put it in your preset chain. I'm liking it here towards the end, kind of mixing it with other modulation and delay effects, because really the doubler is a delay effect. That's what it is. So putting it back the same place you would put a delay or a chorus or something like that, that's kind of the role that it's playing. So it makes sense that it would fit best where you would typically put those effects. Let me know if you're putting it in a different place, if you're doing something different with it. Let me know, especially if you're using the side chaining and you're getting some interesting results. I'd love to hear kind of examples of how side chaining is kind of opening up new capabilities here. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful, and thanks for watching.